Hello students, coming to Java Programming, Unit 4, Chapter 1, Packages in Java. And in this summary session 2, we'll discuss the built-in packages available in Java Standard Edition 8. And we know that packages are two types, user-defined packages, inbuilt packages. And this is the inbuilt packages system in Java. Java is the main package for all the sub-packages of Java classes. And these are the various packages available in Java SE8. And this is the source where we collect all the available list of packages from Java SE8. And java.lang package and its classes. And we know that this is widely used package and it is automatically imported into any program that is designed in Java language. And it contains set of classes and interfaces that are fundamental to virtually all of Java programming. And these are the list of classes available in this java.lang package. And also these are the list of interfaces available in this java.lang package. And here it is simple example of this importing java.lang package. And it is a byte class and object creation, and using this toString, and we are converting that values into strings and displaying on the screen line. And we know that class object is a superclass of all other classes designed in our source files. And object defines many set of methods which are available to every object of the class you declared in your programs. And these are the set of methods. And also these are some other list of methods. And here it is another example of that one class object. Here it uses two methods called getClass, getName to display the class name and also in which package it declared, right? And enumeration is a list of named constants, and it is created by using keyword enum, and it is a generic class, and this is the general form of creation of this enumeration. And it also defines several methods that are available used by all enumerations. And these are some set of methods defined by this enumeration class. So it is simple example of enumeration, and it creates simply here one enumeration called language contains three languages. By importing this java.language.stack, and it enumeration class is imported into our classes. And we can use those enumerations in our program design. Next one, coming to math class, that is also a class available in java.language package, and it contains some floating point functions that are used by geometric and trigonometric uh, purposes. And math defines two double constants, e exponential approximately the value 2.72 and pi value 3.14. And these are the methods of trigonometric functions. And here it is, it accepts one double parameter in a form of angle in radians, and it returns the respective trigonometric function according to the sine or cos or tan. And here also another set of methods, same trigonometric functions. And here these functions are different from the previous one. It takes the parameter, the result of the trigonometric function, and it returns in radians. It's a reverse to that functions in the previous slide. And next one, another thing is hyperbolic trigonometric functions. So this method computes the hyperbolic for sine, cos, and tan of a given angle. And these are the some set of exponential functions in this class math. And using these, we can do some type of operations related to exponential and log, power, and square root and cube root like. And another set of functions available in class math is rounding functions. And these rounding functions generally used to take the values like example, absolute values, floor, seal, maximum, minimum, like that, right? In addition to that, we have some more type of next after, next int, and round up and ULP. Units last, here it is, last place. Units in last place. And here two methods specifically designed for the purpose of indicating the distance between a value and the next higher value. Got it? Next one, these are the examples of using these methods by importing this math class into our programs. So here it is, we can directly call these methods by mentioning the path name also, package name. Package class name dot math dot square root of 64, it simply gives square root of 64 as an output. And wrapper classes, and these classes provide a way to use primitive data types as objects. So till now we used these primitive data types as variables and like that. And here it is, wrapper classes provides you the way you can use those things as an objects. So here the primitive data types here given it is, and the corresponding wrapper classes are designed like this. Now the byte is a class, not a data type like this primitive type. And the only difference between this primitive data type and wrapper classes is here it is small up lowercase letters. Here it is the first letter is an uppercase, right? And it is simple example indicating that usage of wrapper classes, and here it is creating an object of these wrapper classes and initializing some values and displaying. And whereas some other type of processes there for the same purpose, there is some functions of these wrapper classes, and using those methods we can also get use of these methods to get the values associated with the corresponding wrapper objects like integer, double, character here. So another method is toString method, and which is generally toString method is available to any object defined in our class. Why? Because it is a member method defined in the object class. Using that also you can convert those into strings and display on the string like that. Auto boxing and auto unboxing, here it is. From beginning of the JDK 5, Java added two more features related to this auto boxing and auto unboxing, and it is completely related to the wrapper classes concept, that where we use that primitive data types as an objects. So here automatic adoption of primitive data types into its corresponding wrapper type is known as boxing. So that it means automatic conversion, adoption of taking that primitive data values and assigning to a particular wrapper type object is known as boxing, and it is completely automatic process. And the reverse operation is known as unboxing, that it means we are converting and accessing the values of that primitive type from wrapper to basic primitive types of value. One advantage of using this feature is that programmers do not require to convert between primitives and wrapper types manually, and less coding is needed. So by using this auto boxing and auto unboxing, manually the conversion process will not take place, and it will automatically taken care by these concepts and features added from beginning of JDK 5. So here this auto boxing is the process of making encapsulation, making together into an equivalent type wrappers wherever an object of type is needed actually. So there is no need to construct of an object explicitly. It automatically takes that auto boxing process in which by which the value of boxed object is automatically extracted as the process of unboxing, right? Actually, this auto boxing and auto unboxing occurs in expressions, and here it is applies to expressions within an expression. A numeric object is automatically unboxed. Numeric object means it is a wrapper object that contains the primitive types as an object value, right? And it is an example of showing the same auto box and auto unbox process. So here it is 60 and is just numerical value. It is assigning to a particular wrapper object. Here it is wrapper type. So it is called auto box. When we are converting this, assigning this object value to a primitive type integer, then it is called auto unboxing. Next one, Java util classes and interfaces. So util package is also one of the important package we use in all the classes we declare. So it has classes that generate pseudo random numbers, manage date and time, observe events, manipulate set of bits, tokenize strings, and handle formatted data. So here this package also contains one of the Java's most powerful subsystems, nothing but collections framework. So it is sophisticated hierarchy of interfaces and classes. So it is mainly used to managing some group of objects, right? So in this part, first we discuss about this functionality for this java.util contains the it is quite large here. It is some list of top level classes of this java.util package. These are also same. And coming to the collections framework. So this framework standardizes the way in which group of objects are handled by your programs. So it is allowed to make some group of classes or group of objects into the process where you going to solve a particular problem. So here it is concept. Here it is. We have three types of users. The first one is here. It is the framework has to be high performance, and the second one is framework had to allow different types of collections to work in a similar manner with a high degree of interoperability. So compatibility should always be taken a part into this collection framework. And third one is that is allowed to extend or adopt a collection to be easy for your organizing some group of objects in your programs generally. And one of the mostly used class of this util package is scanner class, and it is used to get user input, and it is found in this package. It is the scanner class create an object of class, use of available methods found in the scanner class, like that. In our example, in the previous up to now, we just use the nextend method of to read integer values from the keyboard to the program. And here it is a next line method, which is also reads one stream of characters from the keyboard, like that, right? And these are set of methods available in this util package of the scanner class specifically. Next one, formatter class. It provides format conversion that let you display numbers, strings, and time and date in virtually any format you like. So see, this formatter class contains initially some constructor. In what point of view this formatter object is going to create, and that formatter works by converting the binary form of data used by a program into formatted text. So it is already known process formatting input output we learn in object languages like C++. The same here adopted into a in a built-in package and built-in class like formatter class in util package. So these are the different constructors for making use of this constructor class object. So you can define different based on this net formatter constructors. And these are the some set of methods defined in this formatter class. It is an example how to set your formatting output using this formatter class and the methods defined in this formatter class. Next one, random class. So this random class is a generator of pseudo random numbers. So in many applications, it is useful and it is needed and required to generate random numbers. And based on that, you are going to apply your algorithms and operations and like that. So here random defines the following constructors, random and random long seed. The first one creates generator that uses a reasonably unique seed, but whereas second follows a seed value manually from where you want to generate the set of random numbers, right, next by next, right? And these are the methods, public methods defined in this random class. And there are 7 types of random numbers can be generated from using any random object generated from this random class. This is an example of generating a random value and using this nextInt to read the value from the life. Next one is time package. And related to this time package, we have class instant and formatting for data, date and time in Java and temporal adjuster classes. So this time package provides support for date and time, and that is related to the problems we based on the defining and mostly for program developers. It comprises classes that represent date time concept include instant, duration, date, time zones and periods. And instant is specifically one type of class and taking the instant time. And date and time framework in Java prior to S8, generally this is made uh, as a part of this util package last we discussed. But from this JDK SE8, the special package is defined for this time is just java.time. This java.time is a primary package and it contains sub packages like format, cron, time, temporal, and time zone. And many classes it contains. And these are the different set of classes contains by this time package. And coming to instant class, it is a new time framework in Java. And here it is time object written by this class is expressed in seconds only and should be counted from the midnight of this 1st January 1917. Then only it considers epoch. In duration only it works, otherwise it gives negative values. Okay. For any conversion of the outcome of this instant class, maybe you want to represent your time in dates, hours, minutes, and years also. So you can use some local data class that in time package. So here these are the some of the methods of this instant class and plus and minus. By taking instant time, you can add some time to the instant class and you can subtract and you can return how much time exists between two timing instant objects until you can process ease before, ease after. All these methods are useful for doing working with this instant time of real time. This is an example of showing this instant now time how it gets accessed. And is also an example of this using instant time with minus minutes and plus minutes or minus seconds plus seconds like that. Formatting for date and time in Java. So date and time, current date displaying based on that we have a method of class called java.time.local date is the class and using that you can display the current date of the situation. Next one, current time. This is also a local time class is there and using that you can define the time now using this now function. It use the local time now. And current date and time along with there is a special class called local date time. Local date, local time, and local date time. And formatting date and time. So it is there is a symbol when we work with these examples. One T symbol is separating this date and time, but we can use remove this T and we can apply our format date and time according to our requirement month first date first or year first. There is many different type of formatters for this date and time. So there is a special use of class called date time formatter class and with the use of pattern where you can set your pattern month first day first based on this method it automatically pass the date time date objects. Okay, and this is an example to showing the same. Okay, and coming to temporal adjuster classes. So this method class used to determine things such as first day of month and last day of month, and in between you can adjust your time based So that's why it allow you to define that one temporal class, and it is an interface by name, temporal adjuster that defines methods that take temporal values and return and adjust the temporal value according to the user specifications. And whereas also this type of temporal adjuster class is also defined into this package, and it contains predefined adjuster that may be directly used by the programmers to working with this first day of month or last day of year. Based on this in duration in between, you can make any temporal adjuster objects. So these are the different methods defined in this class, and this is an example program to display the current date, first day of the month based on this current date, and last day of the month based on this current date, based on this next, what is the next Monday, based on this, what's the next month first date. Everything we can set based on temporal adjuster and just like that. So all these things from session one and session two, I just revised it and recap everything. Is what we discussed in this unit 4 first chapter packages, and practice the problems, and to get off these all knowledgeable things when we working with packages. Thank you.